happen. But, oh, it's true. First Lady Jill Biden and Secretary of State Antony Blinken presented the International Woman of Courage Award yesterday on International Women's Day to, drumroll please, a biological male. Alba Rueda, who is Argentina's current special envoy for sexual orientation and gender identity in the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, was born a man.
Yes, so let's bring in our panel to discuss. Founder of Uncommon Sense Media Group and Project 21 member Craig DeLuz, plus another Project 21 member, Whitley Gates. What's your reaction to this International Women's Courage Award going to a biologically born man? Let's start it off here with Craig.
Well, being that I'm in California, which is kind of the mothership for
You're
for crazy
surrounded.
wokeness,
Yes.
I wish I could say that it is surprising, but what you have here is wokeness gone wild. It is virtue signaling at its best. We're going to identify as much transsectionality. I mean, she's Latina. It's a woman who's transitioned from a man. And now we're going to give them an international award. I think we've checked off all the boxes, although I don't know that they've questioned what her religion is, because there might be an extra bonus point in there for them.
You know, I have to ask, Whitley, it was International Women's Day, so I understand presenting an award on another day, but there's just something that's like an extra little, I don't know, I'm going to say kind of poking the bear, so to speak, where you are not choosing a biological woman for an award. So then I got all confused because I'm like, well, where does that leave feminism? Where does that leave actual women? So we're saying that biological men can actually take the place of women. So it's one of those like loops that is just getting me confused, like I'm on a roller coaster with all the spinny things.
Yeah, and you know, the truth is that you really can't unconfuse chaos and confusion. And I think that when you look at International Women's Day, when you look at Women's History Month, it was to pay homage and respect to the women who were creating things, making impact. And so here we are in a day and time where anyone, according to this administration, can decide to be a woman and also receive awards and designations that were meant for actual biological women who are transforming their communities and changing their countries. And I think, honestly, when feminism is looking at this overall, the sacrifices that have been made for those who came before us, it's honestly just a slap in the face.
All right, Craig, I'm going to pose this one to you. A lot of talk these days about why so many companies are going woke. Baylor University and the Copenhagen Business School theorizing that is all of the fault of the employees, specifically middle managers who create such initiatives to guarantee themselves a job. Craig, your reaction to that?
Well, there's some merit to that, but one also needs to consider, look at the top business schools and see where wokeness is coming from. Stanford University, MIT, Princeton University, Yale, Harvard. I mean, everywhere throughout the University of California system. The reality is that it used to be wokeness, this social justice theory, which is nothing but postmodernism and Marxism. It all congregated in those universities, and it used to just be something that was obscure political theory. Now it is something, or obscure legal theory. Now it's something that has permeated every part of these universities. And those employees, the people who graduated from those schools, are now at the heads of or in the leadership of many of these companies in top levels of management, and therefore are instituting these sorts of crazy ideas.
Yeah, Whitley, is interesting because that article really went on to say that some of these people in middle management are almost bullying the company, whether there are threats. Well, if you don't do this, then I'm going to do this, or this will happen. So do you think maybe some more traditional, I will say, executives who do have some common sense, I will say, and do believe in fairness and equality versus, say, equity, might actually just be in a position where they're scared to get in trouble or scared to get their wrists slapped following the Me Too movement, which started in a good place but went out of control in many ways?
I would agree. I would say that this is wokeism weaponized, and it's weaponized against employers. It's weaponized against companies and businesses. And what it does is it makes these corporations, businesses, and middle-level managers bend and bow to the will of these woke individuals for if they don't, they will be canceled and a woke mob will come against them. And so for fear of being canceled or worse, lawsuits, what they'll do is they will appease to the woke mob. And so now that wokeism has been weaponized against companies, corporations, managers, and hiring, the people are left basically bending to the wheel if we don't want to be canceled.
I want to show this poll real quick before we go. This was in USA Today. It finds that Americans are divided on whether woke is a compliment of an insult. When asked, does woke, is it a majority that say that it entails about being informed about social justices rather than being overly politically correct? Or is it an insult? What's your take on that, Craig?
First of all, I think you have to understand that there are two very different stories and tales about what is going on here in the United States and what it is to be an American, what wokeism is. And there's two different, quite frankly, thesauruses and dictionaries. It all depends on who you're asking what the term of the word means. And what the left has done is they've been very adept at creating terms that if you don't agree with them, make you look evil, bad, racist, and all of those other things, discriminatory, all of those other things. But when you really look at the intentions or the policies that are put in place by the people who consider themselves to be quote unquote woke, you start to realize it is a very bad thing. It is something that ought to be shunned, not embraced.
Yeah, Whitley, we've got to go, but I'm just going to give you like 10 seconds because I think it's amazing. Most Americans seem to think woke is a good thing.
Yeah, I think it started out as being aware, and now it has morphed into everything but awareness. It is social outrage, it is cancel culture, and everything that we don't need in this American society.
All right, wrapped up perfectly. Craig